All right, so our next topic for the opinions is the protest that occurred at UC Berkeley. Do you have a date on that by any chance? I did not write it down.
February 1st.
So pretty recently, less than a week ago.
Less than a week, 5 days.
Milo
Yiannopoulos.
Thank you. Who is a senior writer at Breitbart.
Breitbart.
I gotta work on my pronunciations, man.
It's all good.
So he was scheduled to basically make an appearance and do his tour. He's on tour right now, right?
Yes.
Where he basically just talks to people that want to listen to him. I believe the Republican Club, or one of the clubs at UC Berkeley, invited him.
Yeah, UC Berkeley Republicans. Yep.
Invited him for the speech. There were many protesters, and then a certain amount of them got violent, started breaking property.
A lot of people think it wasn't even students that...
I saw that too, yeah. There was a number cited on USA Today that there was about 1,500 peaceful student protesters.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had about 150 students. No, I'm sorry, they don't know if they were students.
Right.
150 people that were dressed in black with their faces covered and stuff like that, performing what they called black bloc tactics for, basically causing property damage and breaking up the protest. And they had to evacuate Milo. Yeah,
he is essentially like a troll. The name of his tour is literally the Dangerous Faggot Tour.
Right.
So he wanted this to happen, and they gave it to him, and only empowered him more.
Doesn't he call himself like a provocateur or something like that?
Yeah. His first aim above all is to be outrageous.
Yeah.
I think one of his quotes was, "The only way to survive in an outrage culture is to be more outrageous." So that's this guy's persona, but it doesn't really matter what his persona is.
Right.
I think we're in pretty handily. We're on the same side on this. That he should have been allowed there without any sort of violence taking place. But like you said, a lot of speculation is that it was other sort of professional protesters coming in, part of the Antifa movement, which stands for anti-fascist, and then using those black bloc tactics to essentially make it way easier for them to get away with whatever crimes they're committing. They're all dressed in black. They're standing super close together, throwing stuff all over the place, lighting fires. And we saw the videos. Yeah,
the UC Berkeley police said that they didn't want to engage because there was 1,500 other innocent people there.
Yeah.
They didn't want any kind of collateral, anybody getting harmed.
They still, in my opinion, they still should have. I don't think anybody can prepare for that.
Right.
Just because, even his other protests, even when they got a little violent, never got anywhere close to that. But they still, once it started even getting close to that, people throwing stuff around, I think they should have just went right in.
Yeah, and just try to arrest. One arrest was made, right, only?
Yeah. Actually, maybe more than that. I don't know the facts.
Yeah. So
I don't know that fact.
So like you said, we're on the same page. Under the First Amendment, speech is protected to a degree. There actually are limitations on free speech.
Right.
I looked a lot into the different doctrines and clauses of the First Amendment. Basically, you can say anything you want as long as it doesn't cause other people or incite violence of any kind. Actually, if you say something and it, for some reason, empowers another person to do something illegal, you can't get in trouble unless you specifically incite them to do that. So if I say, Nick, go shoot that cop, and you do it, I can be held accountable for that.
Yes.
But if I say, cops suck, and then you shoot a cop, that's not my fault.
No, not even close. Right.
So there's a lot of very detailed things in the First Amendment that actually do limit our free speech, but only to a degree, and when it causes others harm. And there's so hate speech is what a lot of people accuse Milo of partaking in, is totally legal.
Right. So pretty much what we're gonna see happen more and more, and is already happening, is that this hate speech is already a form of violence in itself. That this hate speech is taking us back in time. It's ending our forward progress, and by allowing a bunch of people to listen to it and possibly have their minds changed because of it, will actually incite them to violence. So by equating hate speech as a form of violence itself, they're like justifying using actual violence to shut it down. But it still doesn't matter.
Right.
Because if they actually did their research, they'd realize, one, he's not inciting any type of violence. And it doesn't matter what the language is. You can't just equate it with violence so you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Because somebody who disagrees with your side just as much as you disagree with that one other side could say the same thing about you and then use violence to shut you down. Which is why free speech is always the number one thing to protect.
Right.
Because the second you start trying to pinpoint what speech you can protect and you can't, you're opening yourself up to be shut down in the future.
Yeah, I saw that a lot in the research. There's a lot of court cases where it was delegated on for a while because they had to go through the ins and outs of what could be limited and what could not be. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, on a private school, it's even more like that person could actually say whatever they want because it's like a private institution. They don't have to like.
Well, a private institution, I actually looked into that too. A private institution can block whoever they want.
Right. Exactly.
They're not funded by taxes or anything like that. They're not federally funded, so they can invite anyone, they can bar anyone they want. But in a public school, if the students bring a person that they want to come onto campus, they have a certain obligation to provide a space for them.
Yes, and that is what I think like was already lacking. Like whenever this is just like a broad pattern. I don't really have like exact data to back it up, but whenever they invite a speaker like Milo or somebody else like Ben Shapiro or somebody on the right, essentially, they're invited and to all legality and official business, they're invited, and the school is like, quote unquote, taking care of them. But like in reality, they're sort of just like doing it like because they have to. It seems that even like the mayor of Berkeley tweeted out that Milo was a white supremacist.
Oh yeah, I don't like him.
Right, but that's not just like you don't like him. You're now telling kids that this guy's a white supremacist.
Oh, and there he is at Berkeley.
Like he's the mayor.
Right.
You're just inflaming this.
Yeah.
First off, he's not. You can hate him all you want. If you actually look into what he says, he's not.
Don't fight identity politics with identity politics. White pride, white nationalism, white supremacy isn't the way to go. The way to go is reminding them and yourselves that you should be aspiring to values and to ideas. You should be focusing on what unites people, not what drives them apart. And you shouldn't give a shit about skin color. You shouldn't give a shit about sexuality. You shouldn't give a shit about gender. And you should be deeply suspicious of the people who do. Thank you very much.
But even if he was, there shouldn't have been violent protests.
Right.
But obviously, you have the mayor of your town saying this guy's a white supremacist, and you're a really angry college student who thinks that this guy's hate speech is going to incite violence against minorities. Right. You're going to go there and start throwing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's a dick. I mean, if you read any of the articles he publishes,
yes,
he is the worst.
He is pushing the limits of people's tolerance of that type of outrageous behavior, but they still should be tolerant, though.
I mean, he has every right to be a dick. I don't have to read what he writes, and you don't have to listen to what he says. Mm-hmm. But he has the right to say it to people who want to listen to it.
The point is, let's take it to the extreme. Even if he was a full-on, full-fledged actual Nazi, like wearing the uniform, had the patch, literally thinks other people should be dying now, he should still be allowed to speak without there being violence. And no one would take him seriously anyway.
Well, yeah, if you actually started talking, he would just be shouted off
people
the stage.
People would be terrible. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
They would hate it. They would absolutely hate it. Like, we know what Nazism is. And one, he's not that. Even if he was. Protesting, right. Yes. You could
it's as legal
5,000 people there protesting.
It's as legal to protest as it is for him for his right to free speech.
But it doesn't matter how bad the message is. If you start violence to shut it down before it's even delivered, you're, like I said, opening yourself up to somebody to do the same thing to you in the future, because everybody thinks they're justified. Nobody is doing violence just for fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, these sides. There was a petition online to name this Antifa group an actual terrorist group.
Okay.
Because it's not like the students at Berkeley or anything.
Yeah.
But the actual
the ones who were doing the violence.
Like the professional protesters who go around doing this. Because when you're using violence to push an agenda, no matter what the agenda is, it's terrorism. That's exactly what.
So they want to name this group.
That's like the textbook definition.
Group, yeah.
They can call themselves anti-fascist all they want. It's just kind of strange that the anti-fascists are using violence to shut down free speech.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, the Constitution bill, it shapes everything that we do and know. You know what I mean? It's what we always go back to. So we're not going to amend the First Amendment so that people can't say what they want. Then what? We're a censored society?
Yeah.
That can't happen. As much as I hate the fact that somebody can go out and say we should kill everyone that's not white.
Right.
Like, I would, if I was on the street, would I hit him? I don't know, man. I don't know. But do I think I should hit him? Absolutely not. Because that's illegal, and I would get arrested.
Right. So we're kind of talking about like the Spencer. Richard Spencer. Yeah, that's what it is. Richard Spencer. Yeah, the dude is he's an absolute scumbag.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make it right to hit him when he hasn't done anything already violent.
And he hasn't.
Because
he hasn't broken the law.
Right. It's just, I don't know why it's so hard for a lot of people to like grasp this notion that it really doesn't matter what the message is. It's not up to any particular person or group to determine what speech is allowed and isn't, because they think that's the right thing to do, because it will happen again at some point in the future, the second they lose the majority of the people who think that way.
I mean, if you start to do that, soon we won't be able to say anything except, hey, how are you? Because somebody will be offended, and then it'll be taken off of what we can say, and then what?
It doesn't end.
Anyway, really so that his name is Richard Spencer?
Yeah. I mean, the guy who got punched.
He was quoted as saying, he called for, not called for, because that's kind of inciting, but he said he wants a peaceful ethnic cleansing.
Yeah, dude, if you go on that, if you really want to have like your heart race a little bit, then just hop on his Twitter account.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
He honestly is kind of empowering the hardcore left that we're like trying to fight against just because of how ridiculous his claims are. He was talking about the Super Bowl, obviously. Patriots won, and he was like, Patriots win is a win for white America. Like, all this.
What?
Like, he does not stop.
That's insane. So anything and everything can be related to his agenda.
Yes. He's a race baiter in the worst way, except for white people. It's actually kind of crazy. Should he be punched on the street, though? No. I don't understand how there are so many articles and so many people that, like, it doesn't matter even if he deserved it for like his beliefs. Using physical violence against somebody for their beliefs is like the definition of fascism. It doesn't matter what the beliefs are.
Right.
You can have a strong belief against their belief and then prove them wrong. Everybody knows this guy is idiotic. He does not have that many followers. He really does not.
Right. And thank God, because I wouldn't want to.
But you're only going to rile them up the second you start hitting him in public for doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about? I mean, this is going more back to the UC Berkeley, but what do you think about how, like, we've referenced how many peaceful protesters there were and how they were students.
Yeah.
We've referenced the professional protesters, how there wasn't as many, and we don't know if they were students. I don't think they are, but I don't have any facts. Their faces were covered.
Right.
Now, a lot of articles are just saying, "Oh, is this how you protest?" Like, "Oh, liberals, is this how you protest?" Like, no, there were 15 other people doing it the right way. Now that's obviously they're
painting with that broad brush is bad no matter what. It's just the reason that they're starting to paint it this way is because it's now becoming a pattern. Is 100 like this isn't just like, oh, the first riot in however long because of a right-wing speaker. Like, this is happening at so many colleges. Yeah. And Antifa is pretty new. Mm-hmm. Like, there's been I forget if it was UCal or so, I don't even know exactly where it was. But they never got that violent, but it got to the point where they wouldn't let people through doors, screaming, shouting, like actually pushing people back. And these were 100% like verifiably students.
Okay.
Now, like,
so that's a different situation. Like,
people coming in 100 people at a clip, ski masks and crowbars, does not seem likely that they were hiding this stuff in their dorm room and like running out there. But there's still, it's that ideology that's dangerous. Mm-hmm. Even if only a small percentage of the people actually act on it. Just like there was an article of a woman, I think it was actually, might have been in The Guardian, a Guardian video, and she's speaking to the camera, and her main point was, I'm not going to tell you to punch a Nazi when you see him on the street, but I will definitely not tell you it's the wrong thing to do.
Some positions simply cannot be entertained, let alone argued against. There is this fallacy on the left around reasoned debate. Don't assault and boycott racists and misogynists. Debate with them. Don't go low, go high. Be better. But why? Why should we be better? Just for the sake of being better, or because being better produces results? This philosophical Achilles heel is paralyzing liberal democracy. Would I encourage people to go around punching Nazis? No. But I will also not condemn them for doing so.
And this is The Guardian. That's like, I'm not advocating for violence, but go ahead.
Right.
That's literally the message. And it's only going to make things worse.
I almost went the other way with my own personal, could he make me so mad that I might hit him? Honestly, if I was talking to him face to face,
dude, yes.
Maybe he could. And that's what he wants, though. First of all, that's what he wants. Second of all, maybe he could. But third of all, after I did it, I would know.
You would know you were in the wrong.
Yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. It's illegal.
It'd feel good, but you would still understand that you did the unethical thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Protesting, fine. Rioting, not. Violence, not. And all this being said, Trump's tweet about taking away their federal funding seems idiotic no matter what.
Yeah, I mean...
They didn't expect it to get that crazy. They could have done more, but that doesn't mean they're unwilling to protect free speech. So hopefully there'll just be some more conversation around that actual campus.
I mean, protests might occur slightly differently going further. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They might have to up security or something like that.